Good evening. Bonus video today. Second video today. I did a video earlier, Lib.
Oh, did you?
On my book.
Where was that?
You were in the bedroom. Humphrey was making Lego. It was awesome.
Oh.
You haven't missed anything. Stick around for this one.
No, you're all right. If you don't want me.
I'm in trouble now.
Got rid of you.
It has dawned on me that this, you've not picked up on this, Lib, is that the latest in, apart from the next two episodes, obviously, in the Sixth Doctor's incarnation that we will see. Because of the odd structure of the trial of a Time Lord, this is, apart from the start of the next Doctor's story, the next Doctor's first story, this is the latest we see the Sixth Doctor.
Don't give any more spoilers, you.
Okay, so I think I wanted to take a bit of time. I mean, the first thing to say about the Terror of the Voids is it's okay. You know, it runs the risk of being a tad dull, but there are moments that are really, really good, like that cliffhanger where she says you need a mask and he just smashes the thing, yells at the guard and nicks a mask. It's brilliant. I love that. But what? No, it runs the risk now and again. But anyway, I just think it's a bit generic setty and sort of, it just, I don't know, it doesn't quite land for me. Although weirdly, Pip and Jane's dialogue kind of does work in a weird way because it's got that sort of antiquated 1920s Christie. There's something about this that does hang together, but not so much that we can talk about it in glowing terms. Anyway, what I want to say is, this is the latest we're going to see the Sixth Doctor, and he's really nice. I mean, he's a bit sort of, not grumpy. Grumpy's not even the right word. Sort of just like, sort of not quite as jumped up. That'll do. And that's really quite nice. I quite like all that. And obviously what we're doing here is we're watching all of the televised stories. And as, you know, the video I did this morning that my wife's now crossing me to do without her involvement will attest to, is the fact that there's so many other avenues that Doctor Who, the story of the Doctor can be explained. When we first started this, I wanted to do it as the story of the Doctor. And obviously we've got a lot of Trial of a Time Lord stuff to talk about in terms of this. But this is the latest we see of the Doctor, irrespective of all the trial stuff. And we don't know what happens between the trial and his actual meeting of Mel. Because whatever happens within that gap, we know that from the point he's met Mel, he's got a certain amount of time and then he's going to regenerate. And we know this to be the case. So there's a big gap there that we just don't know how that gets filled. And it's magnificent. I mean, genuinely, it's magnificent. What is that space? And if Colin had been, and this is my bad, I think perhaps I've not been had my eyes open to this. If Colin had been better regarded by fandom and the general public, then potentially that middle part, has it been filled by all sorts of bits and bats? You know, Big Finish obviously will have done, you know, have done, and I'm getting to this in a minute, but, you know, have there been comic strips that fill that gap? The novels, you know, I mean, I've read Spiral Scratch, and this doesn't play into what I'm saying, but Spiral Scratch is a brilliant last Sixth Doctor story that I really, really enjoyed. I remember reading that. Anyway, so what happens between the end of the trial, which we've not actually seen yet, so there we go, and him meeting Mel? Well, my personal story includes Evelyn Smythe. Now, Evelyn Smythe, for those of you who don't know, is the Big Finish companion. And the Big Finish companion that I think is the most, is it, I would say revolutionary, but there's something magnificent about Evelyn Smythe. She comes before, in terms of the wider world of Who, before Wilf. And therefore is the oldest companion that the Doctor travelled with to that point. And she's absolutely magnificent. I love Evelyn. She's perfect for this Doctor as well. I love Evelyn because she doesn't take his nonsense. And after Perry, after the trial, not taking the Sixth Doctor's nonsense is absolutely bang on essential. That's what mellows him out. And there's something about that has always sat so beautifully with me. So, what is it that leads to this Doctor, whatever it is that leads to this Doctor, being much gentler, much nicer, much more likely to give compliments, much more happy to sit back and let the companion do some of the work, which obviously is played in the trial stuff here. But basically what I'm trying to say here is that this would be, and it all falls apart when, the BBC higher-ups get in the way. This would be the end point of Colin's Doctor, as I think Colin wanted it to be. And I do think there's a difference in the... Obviously, context, needs to be considered. There's a difference in the performance of the Sixth Doctor in the trial, much earlier in his time stream, to the performance of the Sixth Doctor on... Is it the Hyperion 3, whatever it's called? Which is much later in his time stream. And just so sad. Colin had a plan. I don't think the background to it that was discussed, this whole the Doctor has a dark secret nonsense that I've only just really read about, to be fair, in recent days. That doesn't hold together for me. I don't see how you weave that in. It doesn't make a blind bit of sense in terms of the overall story of the Doctor. But this idea of we're going to start grumpy and mellow really works. And I think, my gosh, casting forward, and this is the era of Doctor Who, the modern era of Doctor Who I don't know well enough. I say don't know well enough, I've seen all the stories. But isn't this what Capaldi does? And I seem to recall not enjoying Capaldi. Now, second time through, I very much enjoyed him towards the end, it's fair to say. But second time through, I'm hoping that'll be different because I know what the end point is. And maybe that's the case with Colin here. I know what, but anyway. Yeah. So I am, in a few episodes' time, 4 episodes' time. I never thought of that. It's only 4 episodes now, is it? Gee. But in 4 episodes' time, we're going to do our summing up of this Doctor. And I really want to have a good old thing because the trial of a Time Lord is one of the significant events in the Doctor's life. And how does that influence the progression of this character? That's just crazy, Doesn't get talked about anywhere near enough, get referenced. Did Shooter referenced it, didn't it? I think. Anyway. Summing up, Tale of the Void episode 2. Really like Bonnie Langford. Really, really chuffed to see Mel. Genuinely. It was mentioned in the comments, we had a natter about it, wasn't it? That it's just nice to have a cheerful companion again. It really genuinely flipping is nice to have a cheerful companion. Let's just do this cool thing. Yes. Just go and do the cool thing. And winning the Doctor round. Yeah. We'll talk more about the story next time. See you later.